Brain rot. It is an ugly term and a chilling concept. The idea that our mental or intellectual state is rotting due to heavy consumption of short form videos like the stuff that you see on TikTok. Children as young as 5 are addicted to the content, and researchers believe watching too much brain rot can be linked to cognitive decline.
This is all so interesting. Our mental health expert, Dr. Sheryl Ziegler, is with us this morning to talk all about it. So let's start with the basics. What is brain rot?
So it's just like Corey said, it is, to put it simply, because parents might not know, it's the short form videos that your kid is watching, typically on TikTok, but it can be anywhere really. And they're very quick and they give a really quick dopamine hit. And so then you watch that one and it rolls into the next and the next and the next. And the reason why it's called brain rot is because you have this really short attention span. It's totally mindless and it's shallow content. And the shallow content part actually does matter. So it's not like it's maybe quick videos of maybe nature or something like that. These are really, really shallow in any kind of mental stimulation. And so what part of the research, this was really a meta-analysis, the most recent research that came out was a large meta-analysis, which means they reviewed lots of different studies over, I think, the last decade. And so what they're seeing is even that shallow content, it takes away your logical reasoning, your deeper analytical reasoning. So that's a problem.
I love that you said shallow, because I would say like dumb, just really dumb videos that are short. And then before you know it, you've spent an hour and a half just scrolling, at least scrolling. Yes. And it becomes so addictive. Is this addictive and bad for not just kids, but even adults?
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, I think that the difference between kids and adults is that in a child, their brain is still under development. An adult's brain is already developed. So when you look at this really precious, and we're talking 10 and up was really like the 10 to 18-year-olds, when they're looking at what their consumption is, we know we still need more studies for long-term impacts, but the short-term impact is attention. Yes. Even their memory, their inhibitory controls, their ability to like kind of control their impulses, right? Everything is quick. And so they find things like reading and doing deeper research into things really boring, yes, way too long, and it's not mentally stimulating. So it's not just your kid being difficult if you say, put that down and read a book, right? And it's not that they're just like blowing you off. It's truly like they are being conditioned when the brain is under development to just say, no, like I need this to be really short and I need it to give me a really big hit. So the slow progression of a book sometimes, the long buildup, it could take 3 chapters, right, to be building up a story. That's something that today's child who engages in this kind of scrolling is really challenged by.
So with that being said, how far do we take this then? Do we say that this actually causes brain damage?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Right now, we can't say cause. That's causation. But what we can say is there's a strong link. There is a strong correlation. And so I think parents should absolutely, though, that's to me as much of a red flag as if I was saying it's causing it. Because right now, this is just because of a sort of lack of longer term research. There's a strong link. And I don't even think you need researchers. If you're a parent paying attention, if your kid is engaged in that, you can see what happens. We also see mental health outcomes, increased anxiety in these kinds of kids. So when I say these kinds of kids, this is a large majority of kids today. This isn't one certain type of kid or type of content. It's really what they're being fed. And so we now have the monumental task of saying, well, how do we combat that?
It's so interesting because I've noticed with my kids, I mean, they're not seeing TikTok or anything like that, but we put on Santa Claus last night and my son said, this is boring. And if you think about like Minions and stuff, everything's zing, zang, boom, bam, and it's like loud and it's like all the things. And the stuff that used to be like so cool for us is really boring for them now because everything is just so fast and in your face.
The traditional storytelling kind of gone maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's the same thing. Like when I watch a movie with my kids, I can get them pretty engaged, but once in a while, one of them will pick up the phone. Yes. And so they're watching the movie and they're on the phone. And then I've got to say like, no, put that down. And I see a little antsiness, right? So one of the things I want to say if a parent is thinking, well, like, what do we do? Is this is where we have to step in and say, we need breaks. We need things called digital hygiene. There's lots of terms for it, which basically says like, it's okay probably to consume it in short amounts of time because this research really did look at what they call kind of like excessive use or high level use. I don't know if that's perfectly quantified, but it's probably more than 20 minutes, right? So, but if you can limit your kid and say like, okay, I know you want to watch these brain rot videos. Just saying the word makes them laugh. But then you can just say, we're going to just really try to limit that. It's very hard. I don't think this is easy. But I think those are the kinds of things we need to tell our kids. Most things in moderation. So little bit of moderation, that's okay. But we can't have kids who can't read. And when you look at these high school scores and you're seeing where we are with reading and math, there's great concern. And college, you hear college professors now saying, freshmen in college are not prepared for college. And a lot of it has to do with their attention and their reading abilities.
Very scary. All right, Dr. Ziegler, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.